Hello YouTube, this is Nite of Misfortune with EmpireCivilization. I would like to welcome you back to another video. I have not made a lot of videos lately, but that's probably going to change. I'm going to be putting out some videos for you here in the future. I apologize for the absence of videos and for the interval between each video, but I think the quality of the video is more important. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about the traditional opening to Civilization 5. Um, it's not necessarily, it doesn't have, the ending of it can be whatever you want, so it's a pretty versatile strategy. It's used for a start that you're not quite sure what you're gonna do. It's also a very good start if you're alone and if you want to develop into science. Uh, Either way, by about turn 100 with this strategy, you should be cut up in production. And if not, during the strategy, you can switch into whatever you want. A quick note about this game before it starts is it does not. I do not finish this because this is an online game and it was with random people, and the two people around me left the game, so I was versing AIs, but not really gonna say that they left because I was gonna win, but it was most likely gonna happen because right after they left, 2 turns later I declared war on them and finished them. But it just goes to say how the Civilization 5 online community is, and you really have to find friends and set up a time and place that no one leaves and you actually have fun, because playing against AI, and as we see here we're set on Prince, it is not very fun. So one more thing I would like to point out is that I have not played Civilization a lot recently. Well, throughout last 4 months I've not played a lot, so there will be mistakes here, but the general idea behind this strategy um, remains the same, which is to develop your cities as large as possible, and then switch your production to whatever is needed. So as you can see, we got Assyrian Empire. Um, they have a nice bonus to um, when a city is captured, you gain a free technology already discovered by its owner. So that's pretty cool. And they also have a siege tower and a royal library, which is the biggest thing about their civilization. The royal library will be pretty instrumental in this. So we have spawned here, and I do not like the spot where I spawned, but um, as you probably know, I like to I like to build my first city or all of my cities on hills for those added 2 hammers. But here I think I'm gonna go off exploring with my settler to see if I can find a better spot. And I think I'm going to go on those salts. Yep. Just gonna waste 2 turns to find a better spot. Down below there isn't really anything of importance. It's just plains. Would be very good for development, but I'd rather find a hill by a river, which I can find. There's one on the top. And I'll get all those resources. Yeah, so I decided to head over to that hill and settle my city on turn 3. Actually, turn 2 because it doesn't count turn 0, I guess. Discovered a ruin. Haven't been lucky with ruins lately. Been getting maps and barbarian encampment locations. But okay, so continue exploring, grab those ruins. As you can see, we got location of barbarian encampments, which is sometimes useful, but most of the time, meh, not very good. As you can see, we're starting with a settler, and we've discovered Mount Sinai. Not particularly good wonder, but it's a wonder nevertheless. Continuing to explore with our warrior. Oh, and we're researching pottery, of course, for the granary and the shrine. Discovered another ruin, which is always nice. Just continuing to get the scout. Start exploring. What do we see? Some more barbarians and forest. So not a bad spot by any means. We have 2 luxury resources, stone. I think it's very nice so far. Just switching my production to that salt, or making sure that the production stays on the salt, and continuing to explore with the scout. So what you want to be doing now is getting a worker, but you want to halt it the moment you get pottery, and you want to build either a granary or a shrine. This game, I don't think I decided to go for shrine because there wasn't really a shrine I could get that could benefit me. But for shrines that you could get that would greatly benefit you, I'm talking about things like desert, faith from desert, faith from tundra, or signs from jungle, I believe, or something with the jungle. But here I could have grabbed the jungle one, but I decided not to bother with it and just go straight up city boom. So my city grows an additional 1 population. And we have met Venice. So that was quite nice when I discovered that because usually Venice is not a warring state. It just has such a disadvantage when producing units. So we're taking the first thing from the tradition tree, or opening up the tradition tree, and now you should be getting a luxury resource tech. So I have a lot of mining around me, so obviously I'm grabbing mining. Here I'm just looking at the Royal Library. Continuing to explore, and I do have a lot of ruins, but I have not yet gained anything too good from it. Yes, I did get an upgrade for those units, but spearmen are meh. I just don't like upgrade to units as much as I do other bonuses that I could get from the huts or from the ruins. Hut 4 and Civ 4. Another thing I've been having troubles with is barbarians throughout all of my games. Never have I had such, well, I had difficulties with them before, but the whole problem with them is that they're not set on raging, and they spawn pretty much every other turn, and it's ridiculous. So I had times a lot when I kill off the barbarian, and then another one spawns right after, and then I have to go through the process of killing him again. And then even rarely, but it happens that it spawns again, and it just very annoying. Don't really manage to capture my cities. That would be really sad if they did. But sometimes they capture settlers and workers and stuff like that. But it does go to say that my awareness isn't, or decision making isn't as great. Because the times that they do capture my workers is when I've went 2 tiles over without really looking. You should be going 1 tile, stop, take a look. If there's barbarians, you should flee. Exploring some more. And the barbarians are just gonna try and do whatever. But there's a river and I'm on a hill, so there's really nothing they can do at this point. Yeah. And I've been having lots of lag, that's true as well. There was a game that I played, I might put it up actually, that because of lag I lost 1 population in the beginning of the game, and it hurt me quite a bit. As a result, I didn't get the great library which I was going for, and yeah, was just put behind quite a bit. I didn't lose, but just goes to say that how much lag actually plays a role in a turn-based game. Actually, lag plays a role in every game. So as the second policy, we are getting the actually I don't remember what I grabbed here. Yeah, we're getting legalism, I think. Yeah. Legalism, get a free culture building, which you don't get. If you guys didn't notice it, I did switch the worker as soon as I got pottery to granary to get those bonus to food. Continuing to explore, but that barbarian comes up onto the hill, and also lag plays a role. I wanted to go onto the ruin, but the barbarian went on it first, and the lag carried over my command so that the scout would attack the barbarian. Not very good. Now you can resume the building of the worker, finish it, and continue and start improving your tiles. Next we're getting animal husbandry to reveal the horses. And I should really flee here with my scout, but not sure what I do. Oh yeah, I just fortify it. And remember to manage your tiles so that they are the best. Decide to keep those gems for the 3 gold. Sacrifice a bit of production. Not a great production spot, by the way. Once I get those stones up, it will be better, but for now it's decent, I guess. So I decide to heal my scout and just finish off the worker grabbing the ruin. And more ruins, a lot of ruins. And I don't think I've gotten gold or population increase from them yet. I might not have been looking very thoroughly, but oh, now I got gold 75. And no, I did not get any population increase, which would have been the best in this situation. Decided to grab light writing so I can get those libraries. But I think I forgot that I needed or actually rather I didn't see that the diamonds were on a jungle tile, so I could not clear the jungle, which was kind of sad. And at this point you see that one of my opponents has left. Enrico, or the Venice player, left, which is really annoying because you start a game and leaving at turn 14 or something of that nature is just says something about you, I guess. Now I am getting a settler. This is going to be your first settler. But at this point I'm having difficulty deciding where I should put the city. The spot to the left is kind of nice with the sheeps and the sugar, as well as the spot down below by the gems and the cows. But I already have the gems, so it wouldn't be too good. As you can see, I also met China, from whom I believe I've stolen that one ruin that came up a couple turns back. For our next social policy, we get the production increase, or not. Sorry, we get the elite, the 10% increase to size growth. Develop our city even more. As you can see right now, my my city producing the settler is not losing or gaining any population, so I decided to switch the output tiles to maximum production because for some reason you cannot lose population while you're building a settler, so that is quite nice. Continuing to explore. My exploring pattern has not been the best in this game. Should have really explored around me first and then gone off to that far to the east. But as it turns out, there wasn't too good of a tiles down below those mountains, so I didn't miss much. And I did grab a lot of ruins, so no regrets, I suppose. Yeah, as you can see, there's more coast, and I did not miss much. So once again, if I was playing this game, before playing this game I had a sort of idea that I wanted to make this video about traditional openings, but I suppose if I was playing this just for fun, I would not really have an idea of what I wanted to do, and it's probably going to be science anyways, and this is a really good strategy, once again, if you do not know what you're doing, or for a science start. Not bad at all. The only thing that's bad about it is that it's geared towards less number of cities, but you get bonus science if you have more cities. That's the only thing of why it doesn't work as science best, but it's a good strategy to transfer into anything, really. And here you see a terrible mistake. It wasn't necessarily a mistake, but I don't think I've seen that settler get produced because it was hidden behind the tag of the city, and I've switched the positions of the worker and the settler, which was a complete mistake. But it's fine. Every game has its downsides. As you can see, China has decided to settle Shanghai towards this direction, towards Venice. And at this point, I really think that China was definitely going to attack either me or Venice. Probably Venice first and then me. Because Venice you've got to attack really quickly if you want to kill it easily. But once again, China is not very good until it gets its special units. Well, I mean, every civilization good, but it's exceptionally good once it gets its special units. Special crossbows. Yep, just continuing the expansion. Locking some tiles. Wouldn't really recommend, actually, now that I think about it, locking tiles because I'm not sure if barbarians are standing on the tile. I'm not sure if the lock would override and the city would switch it to some different production. Here I might lose my archer. Shouldn't have really engaged those barbarians, but I did fight back my settler, which is nice. Did not want to lose more time. Just gotta finish that salt mine. My happiness is actually extraordinarily large for this point. Still at 5. Just looking at spots where I could settle, and it seems that right now the best the best course of action would be to settle over there on the coast to the left on the sheeps. I built a second warrior so that I could protect my units from barbarians a bit better. And now we can start the second settler, but I think I forgot that I didn't have a second settler for some reason here. It was kind of late when I was playing, and I started building a caravan, I believe, but I then switched back to a settler, which is a little bit of a mistake, set me back quite some time, but once again, it was late, and what is a game of civilization but without some, at least a little bit of mistakes. But the mistakes continue for me and I lose my archer. Assyrian archers are not having a good day. And as you can see here, I did not see that jungle, so I cannot build on those gems. So I decided to grab the stone, but once again, I do not have masonry, which is another mistake by me. I decided to grab sailing to eventually start building caravans and get a second trade route, but I really should have built a, well, gotten masonry or iron working, or sorry, copper working, bronze working, sorry, and decide to let my settler go on because the barbarian cannot reach across the river and through a forest in the same turn. And I don't want to lose any more turns. As you can see here, they spawned an archer. And just my theory, or not theory, my statement earlier about the incredible spawning rate of barbarians is confirmed. Because if you can remember a few turns back, I was surrounded by 2 or 3 units, barbarian units. So in a new city, I put obviously production tiles as much as I can. Get as much as you can of apples, and I have also put granary to build. And then the question about second cities and third cities, what to build, it should be granary and then a library. That would be a good aim for production. And if you can see here, the biggest fault of this city is that there is no good production. I will want to eventually let it harvest those horses so that it could get at least one more hammer. And yeah, there's no hills. I can't build in forests um, very greatly, but it will be a great science city because of all those jungles, and eventually it will have really good production. And I could build a lighthouse and gain 2 additional hammers from those fishies. Well, 1 from each, but 2 in total. Both of these cities, same thing, not very good production at all. As you can see, we were in second place for number of points, which is not too bad. It doesn't say that much, but it does say something. Now we get the production increase. Probably should have gotten it earlier. I don't know. It's just up to you which one you want to get first. I would get the growth one first, I guess, because this strategy is about growing your cities to the maximum. Finishing off that barbarian encampment, getting some gold for it, and as you can see we have 245 gold at this point. And I think I decided to save for an archer. And I still haven't realized that I'm not building a second settler. I think now I do, but I let the caravan finish. So I lost 6 turns when I could have gotten a settler, but that's not really that big of a problem. Ideally, you should grab a settler though after your first military unit. So let's just recap the general build order from your capital. First, you should grab a scout to explore the map, grab those huts. Hopefully you get something good, preferably population or culture. Culture is good too. And then you should start building a worker. Once you research pottery, you should grab a granary as quick as you can, halting the worker production. And then after you get the granary, resume your worker production, finish the worker, and start improving your tiles. Because you should have gotten, after pottery, you should have started researching a luxury resource research. Let me just say a quick thing about what happened here. I just got a caravan, but I don't really want to improve the second city yet. I wanted to grow out my capital as soon as possible, but once again, I forgot that you needed a granary to send in apples from a city, so I lost a turn with that caravan um, transferring um, transferring it between cities, but I couldn't have done much anyway because I don't think I could trade gold with anyone yet. So my only option was to basically send apples to what's that city called? Nineveh? Sorry, I'm not well versed in these type of cities. So continuing our talk about what you should produce first. After you get your worker, you should start your first settler. Oh, I could trade with Budapest. Yeah, I think that's what I decided to do. So get your first settler. After that, you should get a warrior or an archer, if for some reason you got archery. And then you should get your second settler. After that, you can really go into anything, but I would suggest getting caravans first and start to get that gold and all of that fun stuff. And it's really, again, very, what's the word? Very important point of the strategy that it's very versatile. If you want to go into religion, you can, instead of building the granary, because the granary isn't too important, but it nevertheless it does help with 2 apples, and even more if you have wheat or bananas. You can get the shrine instead of that and rush to a first Pantheon, Parthenon. Parthenon. Remember, I keep confusing the two. Not confusing, but just calling whatever for whatever reason that goes on in my head. Yeah, you could get a shrine, and you could get Legends of Deserts, I believe it's called, which gives you a bonus 1 religion point from each desert tile, but I could not really make use of that here. Or you could do something with the coast if you're on a coast, which could help you quite a bit. So just if you spawn on a place where you could really benefit from one of the religious Parthenons, you can grab it, and yeah, you get a really nice bonus that you can use later on in the game. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Oh yeah, if you are not familiar with religion, I will be putting a video out. That will be my next video in my Let's Get a Take a Look at Civilization 5 series of videos, which I haven't made in a long time, but I think those are very good videos, and I will continue making them. So here I'm just attempting to scout ahead to see a good place for my second city. A good thing I've been forgetting to do recently is checking the demographics. I have not checked the demographics this game yet, I don't believe. And I really should have, because it would have probably told me a great deal of what was going on. But even at this point, I had an idea that China was eventually going to be a warmonger and attack me and Venice. So Nineveh has been growing like crazy. It's already 3rd level population. I'm about to get masonry. As you know, I like my pyramids quite a bit. So let us see, where is a good space for my settler? At this point, I really like the point with the spices and the horses off to the east, but it is kind of close to China. I don't believe I want to be that close to them, and yeah, I just don't think I want to be that close to them. And there isn't really a good point to put my city in there anyway. Maybe on a plain or on that hill, but there's no river. So I've decided, I think that spot with the salt is kind of nice and the cows, but see, if that mountain with the religion Mount Sinai, if that was not captured by Venice yet, I would have, like, hands down, I would have just beelined it down there and settled there. But I think now it's kind of hard to decide where I want to go. I'm just going down in a general direction towards where I want to settle, but still exploring with my warrior. I apologize. Meanwhile, I'm getting philosophy to get that national college. And I believe I'm saving my money so that I can buy a library in my 3rd city, because it will be quite some time until I can build it there. And yeah, I think I do decide here to settle on that hill by the incense and the wheat across a river and by the sea, which is not it is in a desert. That's the only bad thing about it. But I think in general, it's a really good spot with two wheat. My city can still grow. It's by a river, so it has quite a bit of apples around. It has incense. I can eventually get to that ivory. I will have the salt, and if I eventually conquer Venice or something happens, I can claim that mountain for myself. Mount Sinai, once again. So I don't believe it's a bad spot at all. Plus, always having access to the sea is always, always, always nice. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it is nice nevertheless. Here I see that China has been pushing out archers in a quite just two archers there, and going across a river with my settler and pikeman kind of hints to me that they might want to attack me soon, and intercepting my settler would definitely be a good idea in that regard. So obviously I'm concentrating a lot on protecting my settler. And here I actually decide, since we're not at war yet, he can attack me at any point. He has the disadvantage of clicking to confirm if he wants to declare war. So I will have a moment to send my pikeman and settler up more. But I do have to do it quickly so that he doesn't just grab the settler. I think a smart point here would be to move the warrior up one, and then move the settler in between those two units so that it's for sure protected. Yeah, I took the more of a risky approach and decided to move the pikeman and the settler together. And yeah, at this point I see he has 3 units by me. Most likely this is an attack. So when this happens, you really just want to finish up what you were working on previously as quick as possible, and then you want to switch to something that can you can defend yourself with. So here I decide to start researching archery, and it's only 2 turns, so once again you won't be far too behind. And at this stage of the game, he can't bring on the pain that quickly, and I'm not in that bad of a situation myself yet. So he moves those archers, and this is the final tell for me that he is definitely going to attack me. So I switch to 2D mode so that I can quickly move my things. Lag. And he declares war and attacks me. He wanted to snatch that settler, obviously, but I did not let him, which I was quite happy about. And now he has war on his hands. I am about to have a city pop up right there by his units, and I actually believe that I have an advantage here. He decides to continue to attack. I'm going to make a city next turn, get a volley off at his archers, because I'm not worried about the warrior quite yet. The archers won't be able to do too much to my city in one turn, so I shouldn't really worry about that yet. I'm across the river, so it's quite nice in that regard. Yep, I decide to kill off one of his archers, which is not bad at all. One archer killed. Even if I had 4 of them, one archer blow like that is kind of bad. I resume philosophy at this point. I can now continue to make the granary. Well, I start the granary here, but I can make archers in my capital. Maybe even perhaps purchase one, but no, I decided to purchase the library, which is a good idea, especially because I've just killed one of his archers, and I believe I've done a great blow to his soldier supply. I really should have checked the demographics at this point and just seen what it says to me. And as you can see, I've taken the lead in the points, so that tells me a bit more. So at this point, I believe I have gotten my three cities that I wanted. The fourth one, I wouldn't recommend getting the fourth one, but if you see a good position for the fourth one, you should definitely go for it. But the problem here, there isn't a good position for the fourth city. If I wasn't at war, and I was confident that I could protect my city from Chinese, I would have put it by the ivory and the spices, because that is not a bad place at all. But at this point, I'm really satisfied with my cities, so I don't need to really do anything. The only thing, once again, is the production. The production is hurting me a bit. As you can see, I still don't have my granary in my second city, and I'm a bit off from the National College, so I won't have it. I won't have it for at least another 15 turns, probably, because I still need a library in Ninach or Nineveh. Oh my god. So for at this point on the policy tree, you just close out that tree. Um, and the really nice thing about the tradition tree is that the last, well, it's not necessarily the last, but one of the policies is the bonus to garrisoned units, which is a very nice thing to have just for this situation here when we get attacked by a civilization, which is really good. So I don't know what's going on there between Alta and China. Oh no, that's not China. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I see now that China has completely backed off, and at this point, I just continue to develop. I'm not really very worried about anything. I put my archer on a hill just to make sure. Well, you should always put your archers on hills. But yeah, I have a really nice defending position at this point, and I continue to develop. I think I decided, yes, I did decide to grab the shrines that I could get a Parthenon. Pantheon. It's probably a Pantheon. I don't know why I keep saying Parthenon. Parthenon is a building. Get it right. God. Turn 50, and we are not doing too shabby at all. I think with a good spot for at least one of the cities, I would have been miles ahead, but I'm already ahead. I'm not doing too bad at all. And I'm not playing the best people in the world, but I mean, they know how to play. They're not bad. China was okay at attacking me, as we will see in the future, but my development just took me farther and farther. So for research, as you can see, we got in philosophy, masonry, bronze working, and now you can do whatever you want at this point. You have a good base for research. I decide to go for production, get that watermill so that I can get some more food and some more production. I think the watermill is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful building. And I think it's only one maintenance, if I'm not mistaken. Plus it gives us roads, which will help me tie my two cities that were quite far apart. Still at first place, miraculously. I don't think I even attempted to build the Great Pyramids. Yeah, a good point on that is that this strategy, you will not be getting wonders. So that is a downside. And I think that's the only downside. Well, apart from the fact that you are going to be more militaristically held back. But as you can see, I'm not doing too badly. And of course, I took into account that I was pretty far away from China right now. I'm not very much worried. So here I'm just escaping with my archer because you don't want to lose the units because it will take you a long time to reproduce them, especially in my situation because I don't have a great production. And I have to continue developing in order for my strategy to bring me back around turn 100. So I'm halfway there. And once again, not doing too shabby at all. So I think what I'm thinking here is that he might be pushing my capital, and I want to defend it with more units than my third city. Still a worker, not a bad thing at all. Because that third city, I will not have an opportunity to get a worker down there for some time, because I think I still only have one, and I have to improve around my capital so that I get the maximum bonuses. As you can see, I still don't have the rock, the salt. I have the horses, the diamonds, and one of the salts, so it's not bad in that regard. I'm at 3 happiness. Do need some more luxury resources. I still have that sugar over there that I could improve. So it will be a long while until I can get to my third city. And I really want to defend those tile upgrades by my capital, so I'm sending the majority of my units to my capital. And I think it will really be enough because there's nothing but jungle. And that hill over there by that mountain is in a very nice position because it overlooks 2 plain tiles. And I can shoot over those and see over those with my archer. Not bad at all. Very good defensive position in the least. I do get this incense, which is quite nice. And now I can improve my third city and it will grow and develop faster. If you didn't know that trick, by the way, that I just did, you can always steal workers from, well, not always, but you can steal workers from city-states, and then you can make peace with them. Sort of a cheat, but hey, we can make use of it in wartime. Great leaders have to make great sacrifices. I don't know how this was sacrificed, but you get the idea. So Nimrud is growing pretty fast as well. 2 turns until population 3. And China is pushing me with 2 warriors, which is not a very good unit early on for taking over cities. He should have gotten a lot of archers instead of those warriors. Keep calling them workers. I have no idea why. And I am so glad the computer did not decide to attack me. Venice could have screwed everything here if it decided to attack me. So the computer was not that dumb for once. And at this point, I'm really not sure what China is going to go for. It's either going to be my capital or my third city. And it's kind of plays into my hand that he doesn't know yet. I don't think he knows. So just giving him more time to develop and things like that. Finally hooked up that stone, and actually not that bad of production in my capital at all. 3 hammers from the diamonds, 2 hammers from the stone. Just very nice tiles so far in my opinion. Decided to make a second archer just to confirm that I can defend. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. Of course, anything can happen, like Venice attacking me. But I believe that Venice was at war with China at this point. I'm not sure. Actually, no, I don't think it was at this point, but later on, I think they declare war on each other. I think I should have put that archer onto that hill. But I decided to actually, yeah, that's right. I decided to heal him first because your units heal faster inside your borders. Also, yeah, I couldn't have healed him this turn, and healing was more important than putting him on to the mountain. There wasn't really Chinese units around, and the Chinese unit disappeared somewhere, so I don't know what he was trying to do. Oh, that's right. I think he's gonna put a city somewhere near me here in a second, which wasn't a bad idea at all. And I could see the idea he had behind it, but he didn't do it quite far enough, in my opinion. And here I get my first Pantheon. Yeah, Stoneworks is very nice as well, but it's very situational. As you can see, I have the stone, so obviously I can build the Stoneworks. And I just decided to keep working on... I think I got engineering next. Either engineering or currency is nice at this point, in my opinion. Trapping, I don't know why I decided to get trapping, in all honesty. I think my plan was to get horsemen, but I don't think I ever got it. So in my situation, there really isn't too many things that I could get that could benefit me a lot. I don't really have trade routes yet, so I don't really need the messengers of the gods. God of the Sea could be nice, but I only have 2 fishes. God of Craftsmen, I was surprised no one took that yet. But I think that's what I'm going to pick. I was thinking about stone circles, actually, 2 faith from quarries. But it was only going to be 4. And those tiles weren't that great. Well, they were okay. They were good. Let's say it that way. Yeah, see, it's taking me a long time to decide which one I want. But I'm pretty sure I decide for God of Craftsmen. Ooh, gain faith if you win a battle with him for tiles. That's also not bad because I'm defending. But I still wouldn't take that. I don't know. See, the definition of winning a battle, what is that? I'm not sure what that quite means. Is it like you kill a unit? Or you damage a unit? And finally I can send apples to my capital. So see, China has made Guangzhou. I don't know Chinese, obviously. Yeah, they made a city up there. Not in a too good position, in my opinion. Let's see, where would I have put it? I think I've put... Because, see, he put it on a plane anyway. Maybe put it 2 tiles over to the west. So that you can completely cut off my units. But then again, I do have a double flanking attack. And also, the plane would have been opened up. Yeah, I guess he did put it in a okay spot. I would have probably actually, in this case, probably I would have put it back then. Probably put it by the horses and the spices, closer to Shanghai. I think that would have been an okay idea. But the primary purpose of this third city is to probably resupply and semi-cut off my units and just make life more difficult for me. But eh, I didn't feel like it did at the time when he did that. It was going to be hard to take with all those jungle tiles around and the river. Oh. Excuse my yawning. I still haven't built a water mill, and I'm in -3 goals, so I decide to. No, I do not. I get another composite bowman, and I'm beginning to have troubles with gold. So I do need those caravans soon. Well, cargo ships, because cargo ships are better. One turn until the library finishes, so I can get my National College very soon. Oh yeah, here he proposes a peace treaty. I don't know why. He just played kind of awkwardly. Like he wanted to attack me, but he didn't want it bad enough. Yet he settled a city there, which could only be for attacking me. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know if this is a bug, but I can propose a modification and then I can accept it right away. Unless he already accepted it, but that would be weird. That would be extremely fast. Anyway, I got 50 gold off it, and it bought me some time with my negative gold, so that I could continue improving. Very nice. So turn 62, I still don't have my national college, but as I was saying, I was halted by the attack. And as you can see, the strategy transferred nicely into defense. Of course, I think definitely if this person was a bit better and he had a better coordinated strike against one target, I would have had more troubles, but I think even then I would have managed to hold off. As you can see, I decide not to finish my composite bowman and start National College as soon as I can, and I will have my National College by turn 70, which is not bad at all. Decide to continue exploring around China to see if there are any weak points or things that I could eventually maybe disrupt, I guess. Yeah, I was gonna attempt to converse with the Venice player, but he's obviously a computer. And he wanted a lot of stuff for declaring war in China, so I was like, nah, it's okay. You have warriors anyway, you wouldn't be able to help me too much. Alright, jumping ahead to about turn 73, around 10 turns later. I believe I have my National College finished. My third city is at population 3, which is ridiculous. Well, not ridiculous, but pretty good. My second city, seeing that my second city is only 7 and it's been around longer. And only 3 turns until Nimrud expands to 7, so not bad at all. I'm continuing to build composite bowmen, upgrading my old archers into composite bowmen, and at this point I'm actually ready to possibly attack China. As you can see, I'm having a couple of difficulties with barbarians, but nothing too major. Horsemen are ridiculous for barbarians because they run around, they wreck your improvements, and just make life difficult. And I'm at plus 11 gold. Not quite sure where I got so much, but it's good. Fairly good. I'm focused on gold, but it's not that much gold. I did build a market in my capital, so that's probably where. Here I'm just queuing up more stuff. Let's jump ahead a couple of more turns. Turn 86. The end of turn 86. I have my crossbowmen at this point, and I'm working on metal casting to improve my production even further. And as you can see, my capital is already looking very, very solid. 6 production food, 7 production gold. Not bad at all. Just from the city tile, that is. And here I'm really starting to consider attacking China. And if you look at the score screen, you can see that, oh no, he's still here. But China is going to leave in pretty soon. He does not have many units around his city, so I'm really looking to take this opportunity to take over Guangzhou, whatever the name is. And his cities aren't bad at all. Look at that. It's 610. He connected it by roads. Not too shabby at all. And he's actually working on building a road towards my capital, or there to the north. So not bad at all. I decided to experiment with the special unit of the Syrians. Oh crap, what is it called? The thing that replaces the catapult. I'm so bad with names, I'm sorry guys. Nimrud is 1 turn away from building a market, already level 10. Craziness, pretty good city. I think the spot wasn't bad at all, by any means. So I'm quite glad I put it there. It was well defended, decent improvements, very good growth. I don't even have my second wheat yet. Second wheat isn't by the river though, so not as good as the first wheat. Said to probably would be wise to improve production a bit more. Workshop maybe? Probably should build a workshop. Or lighthouse would be good too. Ooh, those whales. Yeah, I decided to get the workshop. Technology, I'm working towards, I was working towards crossbowmen, but now that I got it, I think I was gonna go into science, but might have grabbed physics or steel on the way over there. Yeah, so I got machinery, which I was aiming for to defend myself and to eventually attack China. Yeah. Oh, here I decided to go for gunpowder. I decided to because I was really worried about the Chinese crossbowmen coming out and just wrecking me. So I needed something very quickly to take care of them. And I decided to not go for horse units for some reason, but I decided to go for gunpowder right away. And I haven't used gunpowder units forever, so that's probably why I did it. And it was quite fun, in my opinion. Grabbed steel. Oh, another reason was because I wanted land units for some reason. Because I was tired of using archers all the time. And it's called the siege tower, by the way. Sorry. It was simple. I thought it had a special name. So I wanted land units, but I did not have iron, so I could not make use of either knights or warriors. So swordsmen they're called. Could not make use of swordsmen or knights. I had to go for gunpowder and eventually do that. So Alright, let's skip ahead to where I started attacking China. Turn 95. China already left. The player that China, yeah. I recapture my worker, quite annoying barbarians. And I begin my siege of Guangzhou. And lately, I've been learning the full power of siege units. They are quite good, let me tell you. Look at that. 16 damage to the siege tower and over 40 damage to the city. Ridiculous. I know it's a special unit, but still. Haven't made too much use of siege units, but they're pretty good, and I'll talk about it later a bit. I wanted to point out that my warrior over there that I sent a couple tens of turns earlier has finally wrecked that incense, and I believe that was the only incense he had. So goodbye happiness. Yes, as we can see, Venice is also at war with China, so not too shabby at all. And we see the mistakes of the computer. It sends warriors into the lake. I just finish off those swordsmen, and I think I take the city here. And I raise it obviously because I believe raising it is in most cases the best course of action when you take a city. You can always rebuild the city in the same spot, but I just don't want to have the happiness and all those negative things that come with capturing a city. And my march towards China has begun. Let's skip ahead even farther. Um, turn 104. I am about to capture Shanghai. And I just do so with my battering or siege tower once again. Just completely annihilate everything with that siege tower. It's not even half health. I did heal it, obviously, but yeah, I'm pretty much rolling through everything at this point. He's still on composite bowman. So I think I've hit at a very good point. I got my great general. Just gonna heal and continue on my warpath towards the Chinese capital. Turn 111. I am beginning my siege on Beijing. Nothing really around. The city is in control of the computer, so it will not be too difficult taking it, especially with a battery, with a siege tower and a couple of crossbowmen. At this point, I think I got gunpowder units, and I've begun getting education for eventual research because I am most likely on an island. Oh yeah, this was a continents map, so um, this was probably the only two civilizations on my continent, and I was going to start improving my navy pretty soon. So I captured Beijing. This one I obviously have to annex. Don't like puppeting. And honestly, here I just decided that I want to conquer the whole continent as quick as possible. So there's a city-state up to the north. I decide to conquer that. Obviously build a courthouse first. And then I'm gonna march towards Venice. And I'll show you my conquest of Venice, but right after the conquest of Venice, actually, checking the demographics, I'm #1 in soldiers, which is crazy. After my conquest of Venice, I think we decided to end the game. Oh, because everybody was leaving. It was only me and Alto left at that point. Here, I'll show you. Skipping to turn 130. I am sieging Venice. Proving difficult to cross that river, but a lot of ranged units. As you can see, another unmet player has left the game. It's basically me and Altai who are dominating this game at this point. Venice is about to fall. There's really no question about that. Does not have nearly enough units. Very interesting that it has 3 cities though. Use those special units well to capture city-states. Very interesting concept. I am considering making a video about Venice. More of a fun video, not really a tutorial, because I don't really see what I could... I don't think I could do much about that. Yeah, I could go over the tradition tree again, but it's only for Venice that that applies, so I'll put that video out if I do decide to do it. But yep, just sieging Venice. Long and hard work, but eventually I think I get it. I think I get it now, actually. Indeed I do. Don't do that. Yeah, did it with the siege tower. Yep, and I grab Venice. Annexing the city. And building a courthouse. My... yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. My happiness is at -23. And at -20, cities can begin to leave your civilization. So I really need happiness at this point. So I'm building coliseums all over. And I think I purchase even some. Because I really don't... like. I do take chances with rebellions, but when a city leaves, that will blow a lot. It'd be a big blow. So yeah, but I think I was fine this game. Let's skip ahead a bit more. Turn 137. I think I'm about to take... I'm not sure what that city's name is. Hanoi. About to take Hanoi. And... yeah. Not much to say at this point. I'm just rolling through everything. Once Venice fell, that was really the only thing left. So let's recap this strategy, I guess. This would be a good point to do that. Strategy, once again, primary point, if you don't know what to do. Very good strategy for that. You can transfer easily into whatever you want. I transferred into defense. You could have transferred into further into science. Could have made production, religion, whatever you really want to. Doesn't take much effort. So, first off, you want to build a scout to explore the area around you, tailor your strategy towards that. Then you want to grab a worker. Once you research pottery, you should grab either a shrine or a granary. After that building finishes, you should grab finish building the worker. Then build the first settler, build a unit to protect your improvements and things like that. Then build the second settler and settle 3 cities. If you have a good position for a 4th, do that, but I suggest building caravans and cargo ships if you can. Get some gold and improve your capital first and foremost. As you can see, my capital is level 20 and my second city is 13 and my third city is probably even bigger than that. So for research, you should grab pottery first, always, always, always. Then you should grab either mining or calendar for luxury resources. Of course, you can grab something else if you have like a bunch of furs or something. You can grab trapping. You should get animal husbandry somewhere in there to just see where the horses are. Then you should then you can really get anything you wish, but I would suggest you could go towards philosophy and then work towards crossbowmen, probably just so that you can defend yourself. And that would be a really good course of action for this strategy. Of course, if you have a good opportunity for a religious bonus, grab that. Yeah. just transfers really easily, as you can see here. I transferred it into warring state mode like crazy without too much difficulty. I hope this video has helped you guys, and if you guys can leave me a message saying what you guys think about this what about this video and about the video I posted earlier about Egypt. Keep in mind that video was made by me a long time ago, but some of the information is good in there, so I suggest you watch that. That is it. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, OSS_Nite, Nite, and check out my Twitch TV /Nite of Misfortune. I stream a lot of D&D and Civilization there. If you like D&D, check out my Dice of Misfortune channel. I do quite a bit of there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.